A unicorn's journey to inner harmony. The magical tale of Lira, a hornless unicorn. In the heart of the ancient whispering woods, where moonbeams danced on dew and the air shimmered with secrets, there lived a unicorn named Lira. The unicorns of the whispering woods were revered as guardians and healers. With their luminous horns, they would gather at dawn, their hooves barely disturbing the mossy earth. When a tree was wounded by lightning or a stream ran dry, the unicorns would encircle the afflicted place. Their horns would glow with a pearly light, weaving threads of energy into the air. Flowers would bloom in their wake, leaves would unfurl, and the very air would hum with renewal. The unicorn's magic was gentle yet profound, restoring balance and harmony to every living thing. Unlike her kin, Lira was born without a horn, a symbol of magic and power among unicorns. Not having a horn, she often felt different. Her spirit was weighed down by longing and self-doubt. No matter how hard she tried to fit in, she was the one that stood out. Lira was not like the others. Whenever she joined the other young unicorns, she heard their concerned whispers. "Why doesn't she have a horn?" murmured Astra, her silvery mane glinting in the sun. "She'll never be able to heal the forest like we do," said Bramble, flicking his tail. "Maybe she's not a real unicorn at all," another added, their voices echoing the feelings in Lyra's heart. Each whisper felt like a shadow passing over her spirit, and though Lira tried to hold her head high, the ache of being different followed her as she walked slowly away, like a silent companion. As the whispers drifted through the glade, a wise old owl named Orin, perched high in the branches above, turned his golden eyes toward the young unicorns, and with a soft flutter, he descended to a low branch nearby, his feathers catching the dappled sunlight. "Little ones," Orin began, his voice calm and deep as the forest at midnight, "be careful with your words and your hearts. The worth of a soul is not measured by what is seen, but by the kindness and courage that dwell within. Sometimes those who seem different carry gifts the rest of us cannot yet imagine. Remember, the forest thrives because every creature, every tree, and every spirit is unique. Judge not by what is missing, but by the light each brings to our world." He blinked slowly, letting his words settle like gentle rain before returning to his perch, leaving the young unicorns in thoughtful silence. One evening at twilight, Lyra set out on a walk alone, her heart heavy with the echoes of her kin's whispers. The path to Mirror Lake wound through the ancient ferns and beneath archways of silver-barked birch. Shafts of fading sunlight filtered through the canopy, painting the forest floor in gold and emerald. Each step was cushioned by a carpet of moss, soft as memory. Lyra's thoughts tumbled like stones in a stream. Why am I different? Will I ever belong? She paused to watch a family of fireflies swirl above a patch of violets, their glow a silent encouragement. The air was thick with the scent of pine and wild honey. As she neared the lake, the trees parted, revealing a glassy expanse that mirrored the sky's indigo and the first trembling stars. Lyra slowly continued, walking walking along the path that sat between rows of fairy bushes. Her friends, the fairies, waved at her, but she was too sad to wave back. She then walked past the Cave of Wonder. Once she arrived at Mirror Lake, she sighed out of loneliness as she sat down at the water's edge. With a heavy heart filled with emotion, Lira gazed at her reflection, blurred by tears, in the crystal clear water and sighed. Why don't I have a horn? Where is my magic? Softly from the depths of the water, a gentle voice that she could hear all around her replied, Dear Lira, you seek balance, protection, and freedom from old wounds. Suddenly the lake's surface began to ripple, although there was no wind to stir it up. From the depths, a golden light blossom, swirling upward in a spiral of flame and song, appeared was a wise and ancient phoenix, its feathers a living tapestry of sunrise and sunset. Its eyes were deep as the oldest mountains. The phoenix had slumbered in the heart of the Mirror Lake for centuries, drawn there by the sorrow and hope of all who sought its wisdom. Its presence was both fierce and gentle, a promise of transformation. Startled, Lira watched the wise ancient phoenix. His feathers glimmered with every color of the dawn. He stopped in midair above her, and he said to her, True magic lies not in what you have, but in what you are. Let me guide you. Lira, bright eyes, surprised and not sure of what to do, took a deep breath. She searched her heart and found it filled with sadness and pain, but empty of any other solution. She said to the phoenix, Yes, please. I will accept your help. I am grateful to you. The phoenix, moving forward, beckoned Lira to follow, leading her to a hidden grove. The trees here were willows and aspens, their slender trunks pale as moonbeams. Their leaves shimmered like silver coins, and the wind that wound through their branches carried a melody, soft, haunting, and sweet. The grove was sacred, for it was said that the first unicorns sung their dreams into the roots of these trees. The wind sang because it remembered those songs, and because of the magic of its music, all who entered felt their burdens lighten. As the phoenix and Lira stepped into the grove, he said, Feel the breeze. The phoenix then instructed, Let it carry away your worries. Emotions are like wind, let them flow, but do not let them uproot you. Lira closed her eyes, breathing deeply. She felt her sadness swirl suddenly, then drift away. She realized she could observe her feelings without being swept away by them. In that moment, she found peace, a gentle, steady center within herself. Beyond the grove, the phoenix guided Lira to the circle of ancient stones that pulsed with a quiet, powerful energy. The stones were massive, worn smooth by centuries of wind, rain, and the gentle touch of moss and lichen. They were placed there by the elders of the first dawn. the unicorns and woodland spirits who had woven their magic into the very bedrock. Each stone bore the silent memory of countless seasons, sunrises, and moonlit nights, the footsteps of ancient guardians and the whispered prayers of those who had come seeking wisdom long before Lira's time. The stones were attuned to the energies of protection and truth. Only those with pure intentions could step within the circle. Those who carried malice or deceit would find themselves gently turned away by an invisible force. The air inside the circle was charged, humming with the memory of ancient rituals and the promise of sanctuary. To Lira, the phoenix said, "Imagine a light deep within you, and with pure intention, let it grow, forming a shield around your heart. This is your spirit, your energy, precious and sacred. Not all who approach this place deserve entry." Lira asked, "Why not?" The phoenix's eyes started to glow softly. He said, "Some come with kindness, but others bring envy, fear, or anger. The circle protects those who honor its peace. If you let everyone in, their shadows may dim your light. Choose wisely, little one, who you trust with your spirit." Lira then pictured a radiant glow surrounding her. She felt safe, her spirit strong. She understood that she could choose what energies to allow in and which to keep at bay. Finally, the phoenix led Lira to a field that stretched as far as the eye could see, ablaze with wildflowers. There were star-shaped asters, golden buttercups, indigo lupines, and scarlet poppies. Each flower pulsed with a subtle light, for every blossom represented a lesson, experience, or challenge faced by those who walked the path of healing. The air was thick with the scent of earth and nectar, and bees drifted lazily from bloom to bloom. As Lira walked among the flowers, she felt the weight of her past begin to lift. Each step a gentle release, each blossom a silent blessing. The phoenix stated, "To clear karma, you must forgive yourself and others. Thank each lesson, experience, or challenge for its gift, then let it go." Lira walked among the flowers, recalling old hurts and mistakes. With each dainty step, she whispered, "Thank you, I release you." The flowers shimmered and faded, their energy returning to the earth. Just as Lira began to feel lighter, a shadow swept across the field. It was a dark, swirling mist. Born from the doubts and fears of other beings rose up, twisting into the shape of a horned beast. "You do not belong," it roared, echoing the voices Lira had heard all her life. The mist tried to wrap around her, pulling her back into the sadness and fear. Lira trembled, but she remembered the ancient phoenix's teachings that she learned that day. She stood tall and, breathing deeply, she let her emotions flow without letting them control her. She summoned her inner light, forming a shield around her heart, and it spanned throughout the entire length of the Whispering Woods. She said to the dark mist, "You are not my truth. I honor my journey, and I release your hold on me." The mist, angry with all of the energies that it carried, shrieked but could not penetrate her shield. With a final breath, Lira forgave the voices and herself. The mist then dissolved into nothingness, leaving the field bathed in golden light. As Lira looked back at the ancient phoenix, his beautiful colors, every hue of the dawn, were even brighter, shimmering with a majestic glow she had never seen before. As she scanned the field of wildflowers, she now saw colors that had no name. There were blossoms shimmering with a light that seemed to shift and ripple like the surface of a dream. Some petals glowed with a silvery blue that sparkled like moonlight on a fresh snow, yet held a warmth that tingled in her chest. Others radiated a golden green as if sunlight and new leaves had woven themselves together into a single living shade. She saw flowers edged in a deep velvety hue that was neither purple nor blue, but something even richer, a color that felt like the hush of twilight and the promise of secrets. Between the familiar reds and yellows, there danced a luminous blush that flickered between rose and amber. It was impossible to capture with words. Some blooms shimmered with iridescence, their colors changing with every breath of the wind. Sometimes a soft coral, sometimes a glimmering teal, sometimes a gentle lavender that seemed to sing. And in the heart of the field, Lira glimpsed a flower aglow with a color that felt like laughter and hope, an essence more than a shade, a radiant presence that filled her with wonder and peace. These were the colors of magic, of possibility, of all that could not be named, but only felt in the soul. Lira was happier than she had ever been, and she felt lighter than she had ever been before. She felt like a brand new unicorn as she absorbed truth, clarity, and wisdom that she was unaware of. She realized her lack of a horn was not a curse, but a blessing. She learned to balance her emotions, protect her energy, and clear the karmic path in front of her, all from within. The beautiful phoenix smiled. He said, "Lira, you are more magical than you know. Embrace your uniqueness. You have discovered your inner strength. True power comes from a pure heart." Lira thanked the ancient phoenix and bowed to him with gratitude. As she waved goodbye, she walked home to the whispering woods with grace and confidence. She had become a beacon for others, teaching that the greatest magic is the wisdom to heal, protect, and love oneself. As a beautiful dawn broke, while Lira slept peacefully by the edge of the river, in her dreams, the phoenix appeared to her once more, radiant and proud. He said, "Lira, you have faced your shadows, healed from within, and have chosen the path of truth and love. For your courage and wisdom, you are ready to receive a divine gift. A gentle breeze swirled around Lira, shimmering with celestial light. She felt warmth at her brow as a beautiful spiraled horn of crystal and starlight emerged. At the same time, magnificent wings unfurled from her back, glowing with iridescent feathers. The phoenix spoke again. Your horn is a symbol of your inner magic now awakened. Your wings are a reminder that you are free to soar above doubt and fear. Let them guide you as you serve as a beacon for others. The ancient phoenix then, in a flourish of the glow of a golden sunrise and sunset, took his place in a cosmic sky among the colors of heaven. The heavens unfurled around him in a breathtaking tapestry. Rivers of molten gold and rose unfurling across the horizon. Streaks of sapphire and amethyst swirling like celestial ribbons. There were clouds tinted with the softest blush of dawn, edged in shimmering silver and bursts of radiant emerald and opal that danced like living jewels. The sky above deepened into a velvet indigo, scattered with stars that shimmered in hues unknown to the mortal eye. Some pulsed with a gentle aquamarine. Others flickered with a fire that was both crimson and ivory, as if the heart of a pearl had been set alight. Between the constellations, luminous veils of colors drifted. A luminous lavender that felt like a lullaby, a shimmering teal that whispered of distant oceans, and a golden white brilliance that seemed to sing with the joy of creation itself. As the ancient phoenix soared higher in the cosmic sky, his beautiful feathers caught and reflected every shade, weaving them into a living aurora. The colors of heaven were not just seen, they were felt. Each hue a note in a celestial symphony, filling the beautiful bright sky with wonder, hope, and the promise of endless possibility. Lira then awakened from the most beautiful dream. She rose from her bed of downy soft leaves and flower petals and walked out into the light of the brand new day. She thought, my dream. It was so beautiful. Was it true? Do I really have wings? As soon as she asked herself if she could fly, her beautiful, magnificent wings spread out into the brilliant sunlight and lifted her softly into the bright blue sky. As she circled the whispering wood, she flew over the field of wildflowers. Then she could hear the music coming from the grove of singing trees. A little further, and she could feel the magical vibrations coming from the circle of ancient stones. Flying even higher still in the sky, she could now see the sparkling expanse of Mirror Lake and slowly landed softly at the water's edge. As Lira gazed at her new reflection, tears of joy began sparkling in her eyes. She was whole, not because of her horn or her wings, but because she had found her true self. From that day on, Lira walked and soared through the whispering woods with grace and confidence. She became a living symbol of hope, teaching that the greatest magic is the wisdom to heal, protect, and love one's self. The moral of the story: true spiritual power is not found in outward symbols, but in the inner journey of balance, protection, and release. When we honor our emotions, guard our energy, and let go of the past, we become our own source of magic, and the universe rewards us in ways above our imagination. The end.